So If Found is an emotional journey through the pages of Cassio's journal, which looks back at growing up in Ireland in the 90s. This is a powerful indie game which is relatively short, but one of the most impactful narrative experiences I've had with video games. If Found is full of beautiful illustrations that will help visualise our trip through Cassio's memories, together with a simple and elegant interaction model that reveals the story wonderfully well. The game is played from Cassio's perspective, and we're there with her looking back through the pages of a journal at various memories. The main interaction is with an eraser, unveiling the new elements of the story and sometimes painful memories. There are arguments with the family members, but also happy times too, including concerts with friends. The interactions with the screen, they're simple, but really effective in revealing the story, but also filled with emotion as Cassio tries to forget. The gameplay in If Found is simple, and you control the eraser with the controller or the mouse and simply swipe across the screen, removing the image story from the above to reveal the layer below. And Cassio is interested in the stars and returns home to Achill Island, which is a small town off the coast of Ireland. Cassio is back from university, having moved to Dublin for further education, but she's back for a month, and Cassio's journal is full of memories from the past, characters like parents and friends, but also places too. The art style of the game is really hand-drawn, like ink on the page, and it gives you a sense like you're looking through an actual journal of a real person. It's really emotive, it's realistic, and it's bound to move you. The journal starts on December the 3rd, however, we're looking back at the last 28 days and erasing pages. It's not entirely clear why this is happening, why we get to look back through the past pages with Cassio. Is she trying to forget, or is there something else? There's plenty of painful moments as you erase the pages of the journal, but there's also wonderful moments too, with support from friends and family. It's a story of a queer girl trying to find her place in the world and processing the emotions and understanding where to go next. There's two parallel narratives in the game, with Cassiopeia slowly drifting towards a black hole and Cassio dealing with her own metaphorical black hole after arguments with her family. Cassio is home for a while, but old arguments and points of conflict with her family have reared their ugly head once again, with Cassio's mother asking what the plans are after university, why she's dressed like that, and other intrusive questions which push Cassio into an emotional state. It's at this point in the game I found myself looking back at my own life and these conversations with family. And if you knew what you were doing when you were going into your early 20s, then congratulations. I remember having a rough idea, going to university, my whole life turned upside down with new people, new hierarchies and new directions. And I always knew I had to get out of my small little town into the wider world, but once I did, I didn't really know what to do next. Now, years later, I somehow made it through that confusing mess of a time, but I can't really tell you how I did it. It was a roller coaster for sure. If Found has me reflecting on my own time and my own journey, even though it's not exactly the same story, and that is the power of this game. It managed to draw an emotional response from me, and in a world where many games have you shooting or exploring, jumping or puzzling, this game had me simply erasing. That simple interaction together with the narrative was enough to draw a very powerful emotional response, one which I won't be forgetting for a long time to come. The game isn't a long one, roughly 2 hours from start to finish, but it's unique, touching, and definitely a memorable experience. It's a visual novel style game where the interactions are slow and simple, so if you're used to action games, then you're going to have to prepare yourself for a slower pace and the different style of gameplay. Annapurna Interactive tend to be deliberate with their publishing, which includes other great games such as I Am Dead, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Florence, and of course Kentucky Route Zero. And If Found is a worthy contender amongst these great games. The reason for erasing is revealed just before the end of the story, and the dual narratives of Cassio plus the mysterious black hole join up together in a very satisfying ending that I won't spoil. It's something to be experienced for yourself. I definitely recommend If Found. It's one of 2020's most unique and touching stories, told through the video games medium with a subtle touch. So the developer was Dreamfeel. It was published by Annapurna Interactive, released for PC, Mac, iOS and Nintendo Switch, and it originally released on the 19th of May 2020.